Right now, economic experts are bracing for the worst monthly jobs report since the Great Depression. How high they say unemployment may rise.
Plus, new findings show early measures to prevent the coronavirus from entering the U.S. were ineffective. Why members of Congress say it failed.
And you'll need to protect any sensitive plants tonight across southern Wisconsin. Have all the details on the freeze warning coming up.
This is News 3 Now this morning.
Good morning, everyone, and happy Friday. It is May 8th. I'm Josh Breiter with Leah Linscheid and Chris Stanford. We start this morning with the latest on Wisconsin's Safer at Home order, with Governor Evers telling media outlets in Green Bay he does not think the order will need to be extended again. He says the state has made big strides in testing, and he's confident things are headed in the right direction. Because of that, the state may start dialing back restrictions even more before the order expires on the 26th, regardless of whether the state Supreme Court leaves the order in place. As of this morning, we're still waiting for a decision on that case. The other big story of the morning, we are just 90 minutes away from the Bureau of Labor Statistics jobs report for the month of April. It is expected to be the worst month for American unemployment since the Great Depression. Economists expect the U.S. economy lost nearly 22 million jobs in April alone. That would be the largest number on record by far. In fact, the number is so big, it would wipe out the total number of jobs created over the past decade. Economists are predicting an unemployment rate of 16%. Some believe it could be as high as 20%. That report comes out at 7:30, and CBS News will be breaking in with a special report once those numbers are released.
For weeks now, we've been doing stories on unemployment numbers across the state and the troubles that people are having getting their payments. We spoke again with the Secretary of the State Department of Workforce Development. He insists that his department is doing everything it can to handle the enormous amount of calls and claims that they get every week, including hiring hundreds of new employees.
I just signed a contract last night to start training next week for a 500-person call center. So we're really excited to get that on board, make sure those folks are trained up and ready to take claims over the phone, answer questions, and also triage some of the more complicated claims issues back to DWD.
Right now, the Department of Workforce Development is receiving more than 300,000 unemployment benefit claims per week. Yesterday, the department released a hypothetical worst-case scenario on when the benefit trust fund money could run out. The earliest would be October.
So when Wisconsin does reopen, daycare centers will play a critical role, and there's a new program designed to help them. The COVID-19 pandemic has sent parents home and many of their kids home as well. And as some daycare centers sit idle, they're struggling to survive. Through the Federal CARES Act, Dane County is setting up a $3.5 million grant program for roughly 500 child care providers to offset revenue losses.
Yeah, this is survival. We need to keep our child care centers viable and ready to reopen as we reopen the economy.
Today, we make the message really clear. We not only need child care programs, we value you, we appreciate you, and we thank you.
The amounts will range in size from $1,400 to $15,000. The only conditions are that the center be licensed and can operate by July 1st or within 30 days after the state says it's safe to open. New information this morning. Financial officers for the Catholic Diocese estimate nearly 9,000 churches are receiving loans from the Paycheck Protection Program. They say between 12 and 13,000 of the nation's 17,000 churches applied for those loans. The church says that money is needed for employees on the payroll, both within churches and at affiliated schools. A survey from Lifeway Research shows roughly 40% of Protestant churches also applied for federal loans, but only 23% were accepted.
Starting Monday, all passengers on Amtrak trains will be required to wear a mask. NPR says this will apply to passengers on trains, buses, and those waiting to board in stations. Riders can only take the mask off when eating or when alone. Amtrak is also limiting capacity on the trains to help maintain social distancing, limiting each train to 50% capacity. Passengers flying on Frontier will soon have to have their temperature taken. Frontier is the first U.S. airline to announce such a requirement. It'll take effect June 1st. Now, the airline says this is an additional layer of protection to ensure the health and safety of passengers. Frontline's also requiring flight crews to wear face coverings and have more thorough cleanings between flights. According to USA Today, any passengers whose temperature reads above 100.4 degrees after 2 readings will not be allowed to board. The House Oversight Committee said screenings conducted in early March on passengers arriving in the U.S. from virus hotspots were largely ineffective in preventing the spread. The committee says White House officials depended on screeners in South Korea and Italy to catch infected passengers on their end before they departed. They say the U.S. officials had limited oversight on those screenings, which only stopped around 70 passengers from flying.
A new study from China says traces of the coronavirus are detectable in some male patients' reproductive fluids, raising alarms that the virus could be sexually transmitted. Researchers say they found the virus in samples from 6 men out of a group of 38. Of those 6, 4 were still infected, 2 had recovered. Infectious disease experts say more research is needed to tell if the virus can truly be sexually transmitted. The FDA is moving forward with new guidelines this morning that would make at-home coronavirus testing more accessible for millions. Under these new guidelines, companies are now allowed to develop and market these kits that can be completed at home and then mailed in for results. According to the New York Times, experts not involved in the project say they're pretty optimistic about at-home testing, but they do worry about the ability of commercial labs to process a bigger number of tests in a timely manner.
605 Immigration and Customs Enforcement is confirming the first COVID-19 related death at one of their detention centers. According to NPR, the detainee was a 57-year-old from El Salvador who had been in the U.S. for the past 40 years. The man had been in ICE's custody since January 10th. He was denied bond back in April because he was considered a flight risk, but just last week, ICE listed him as eligible for release due to medical vulnerability. By the time his name appeared on that list, though, he was already in the hospital for the virus. ICE says they are firmly committed to the health and welfare of those in custody and are reviewing the case.
President Trump says White House staff will now be tested daily for the virus after a military aide the president had contact with tested positive. Senior officials within the administration say that aide is a personal valet to the president, though President Trump says their contact is limited. A spokesperson tells the New York Times both the president and vice president tested negative for the virus since that news broke, and they're both in good health. New legislation is on the table this morning to rename the street outside of the Chinese embassy in Washington. The bill proposes the street be named after the Wuhan-based doctor who was silenced for his public warnings about the coronavirus. That doctor later died from COVID-19. Multiple news outlets report several Republican senators and House members are introducing that bill this week.
Now, this comes as House Minority Leader Kevin McCarthy announced the creation of a GOP-led China task force. He says the group will look at multiple China-related issues, including the origin of the coronavirus outbreak in Wuhan.
6:07 right now. We're not just talking about that freeze warning in place today, but we also have some dangerous dry conditions.
Yeah, the concern through the day today would be the strong winds, Josh, and the dry conditions creating hazards for wildfires here, especially in central Wisconsin, where they have not seen as much green up as we have here in the southern part of the state. But there is that risk all across the area. Humidity is low, right around 20% today. We have a strong northwesterly winds and, of course, those dry conditions in place. Now, once we head into tonight, then our second concern is the freezing conditions. An alert day still in the forecast for some widespread frost likely tonight and even a hard freeze possible. Confidence is pretty high that temperatures will drop below the freezing point for several hours tonight. So the National Weather Service offices have issued a freeze warning. It starts at midnight tonight and goes through Saturday morning. Our low temperature trend is decidedly cold over the next several nights, below normal for this time of the year. Tonight being the coldest with temperatures dropping into the 20s. But you'll notice we're pretty close to freezing Sunday night as well as Monday night, maybe even north of Madison on Tuesday night for some spots. So you'll have to cover those sensitive plants up several nights heading into next week. Our current temperatures, we are now down to 31 here in Madison, 31 in the Dells. Camp Douglas has dropped to 28 degrees, so cold there. 36 in Janesville and 32 in Watertown this morning. Weather Track shows you that skies are clear. We're looking at sunshine today, but a very chilly day. There's that north wind in place this morning. It does shift to the northwest a little bit later on this morning into the afternoon. Temperatures are not going to climb much, though. Even despite that sunshine, we only top at 45 degrees here, maybe just 42 in the Dells, 46 in Mineral Point. You'll definitely want a jacket if you're headed outside today. Temperatures will then drop pretty quickly as the sun sets. We're already down into the 30s before 10 o'clock tonight, and we'll stay below the freezing point for several hours tomorrow morning, bottoming out right around 29 here in Madison, 27 in Lone Rock, only 26 in the Dells. Here's a look at your extended forecast. Temperatures will be back into the 50s, at least on Saturday. Not a bad day with partly sunny skies, but Sunday looks a little chilly. Some rain showers for Mother's Day with a high of 48. The trend, though, is definitely upward as we head through next week. Once we get past this cold stretch for the next 5 days or so, we are going to warm up significantly.
Good thing we're mostly hanging out inside anyway for Mother's Day.
Right.
Thanks, Addie. Well, starting Monday, Madison Libraries will start offering curbside pickup. Here's how it'll work. You can go online or call to put a hold on a book that you like, and once it's ready, you can schedule an appointment to pick it up at a library near you. A staff member will then place it in your trunk or backseat of your car. They do ask customers to stay in their vehicles. You know, it might not feel like it or look like it, but it is graduation weekend at UW-Madison.
Kind of snuck up on us.
Yeah.
And with this year's in-person ceremony canceled, Christina Laurie is here with how commencement is changing. Hi, Christina.
Good morning, Leah and Chris. Chancellor Rebecca Blank says if anyone is ready for this challenge, it is the Badger class of 2020, which she calls accomplished, resilient, and adaptable. This year's graduates have spent half of their spring semester learning virtually and will graduate during a live stream ceremony tomorrow. 8,500 Badgers will take part, receiving their degrees during that ceremony, which will be released at noon on the university's website. This year's commencement is pre-taped, not live, so anyone is able to watch it, no password required, at whatever time they'd like. It will include remarks from Chancellor Blank, senior class officers, and keynote speaker James Patterson. He's the best-selling adult fiction author, best known for his Alex Cross and Women's Murder Club series. The university also plans to hold an in-person event to formally celebrate the class of 2020, but that won't be held until it's finally safe to gather in large groups again. New grads can usually look to alumni for help, but this year they're going through something none of us have ever experienced before: an international pandemic coupled with the worst jobs market in more than a decade. I'll talk about the ways the Wisconsin Alumni Association is stepping up to help these new grads find jobs ahead at 5:30. And I know that sounds a little bit ominous, so I had to bring the cheer, and I wore my Badger gear today, which, Leah, you pointed out is a really big deal for me as an Illini fan.
I am so impressed, Christina. You're coming a long way from Illinois.
I have, certainly.
Thank you, Christina. All right, a reminder that commencement ceremonies for all 4 Madison high schools will also be held virtually and aired in prime time right here on News 3 Now and channel3000.com. Those are scheduled for June 12th and 13th. We'll have more information on those ceremonies coming up in the next few weeks.
6:12 right now. No crashes to report out there this morning, but we do have some details about that traffic incident up in Sun Prairie. This is in the southbound lanes of 151 right now. A stalled vehicle in the right lane just after Main Street there, so you want to keep that in mind as you head out the door. The rest of Madison this morning looking not too bad. A couple of delays popping up near downtown. That's a look at your traffic. Let's take a look right now at what's coming up here on News 3 Now this morning. It is 6:12, and I'm following an overnight fire in Fitchburg that had roads closed for more than 4 hours. Those latest details are coming up.
And we're taking a look at the newly released Packers 2020 schedule and what challenges may lie ahead.
We'll be right back.
Kopke's Greenhouse is open and here for you, even during these difficult times. Shop our expansive facility for veggies, herbs, flowers, houseplants, and much more. Kopke's Greenhouse. Stay healthy, stay green.
The Our Home is the training ground for her dreams policy from American Family Insurance. Insure carefully. Dream fearlessly.
Goldman Cars is having a huge markdown sale where you can buy a 2017 Subaru Legacy Premium starting at only $10,995 or $170 per month. That's That's right. Goldman Cars has new body style 2017 Subaru Legacy Premium starting at only $10,995 or $170 per month. So just come on in and visit our family-owned and operated business for over 50 years and ask for Crystal Epistle Goldman. Go to Goldman Cars East or West.
You gotta go to Goldman, GoldmanCars.com.
When looking for a TV and internet provider, we know you have a choice. This is Jessica. She still has satellite TV.
Well, I get tons of HD.
Spectrum has tons of HD, and we love Spectrum's 24-hour local news channel. Plus, we get exclusive access to premium original content with Spectrum Originals.
I don't have that.
Get Spectrum TV from $44.99 a month. Call 833-976-4499.
Spectrum Internet starts at 200 megabits with no data caps and a free modem.
We have to get internet from another company, and it isn't nearly as fast.
Spectrum Internet, $44.99 a month.
I'd switch, but I'm stuck in a contract and would have to pay up to $480 to cancel.
Spectrum has no contracts, and they'll pay up to $500 to help you out of yours.
That's it. I'm switching to Spectrum.
Get Spectrum TV and internet from $44.99 a month each. Call 833-976-4499.
I'm Joanne Jenkins with AARP. The coronavirus continues to affect us all, and we are here actively supporting you and your community. Every day, we're providing trusted information from top health experts, sharing tools to help protect families from fraud, and creating resources to support family caregivers everywhere. As always, you can count on AARP to advocate for you and your family. Join us and stay connected at aarp.org/coronavirus.
Kopke's Greenhouse is open and here for you, even during these difficult times. Shop our expansive facility for veggies, herbs, flowers, houseplants, and much more. Kopke's Greenhouse. Stay healthy, stay green.
Welcome back at 6:16. We have an update this morning as all lanes of Seminole Highway are back open following a fire near the Capital City Trail. Fitchburg Fire responded to that home around 8:15 and lanes were closed from then until just before midnight. We still do not have much information in this incident yet, including what caused it and if anyone was hurt. I'm working to learn more details and we'll bring you the latest as soon as we have them.
New details from the Madison Fire Department about the cause of an apartment fire on Muirfield Road last month. Fire investigators say cigarette butts were tossed into a terracotta pot on a balcony, which then ignited. High winds and the items on the balcony contributed to the rapid fire spread.
Now, thousands of acres have burned in the Florida Panhandle as two wildfires continue to spread. So far, they've damaged or destroyed several buildings since Monday and are forcing hundreds of people to be evacuated. They are burning through Santa Rosa and Walton counties, which are between the cities of Pensacola and Panama City Beach. Fire crews say those fires are about 40% contained this morning. 6:17, we've got the fire danger here, but also the cold temperatures to talk about, Hattie.
We certainly do, and it is going to be much colder than it should be this time of the year. Take a look at our current temperatures. We're waking up below freezing this morning here in Madison, 31 degrees, 31 in the Dells, 36 in Platteville as well as Mineral Point this morning, and 38 in Prairie du Chien. Temperatures aren't going to move too far today. Over the next 12 hours, we'll top in the mid-40s. Northwest winds will be a factor in the forecast today. They'll be around 10 to 20 miles an hour through the afternoon, so that's going to create a little bit of a wind chill for us. Take a look at future track temperatures across the entire region. It's even colder to the north, just 42 in the Dells and Juneau. Milwaukee, with that breeze off the lake, stays in the 30s today. We do have coming up colder temperatures in the forecast and maybe even some snow for parts of southern Wisconsin heading into this weekend. We'll look at all the details in just a few minutes.
Midway through May and we're talking about snow.
Ugh,
Chris, are you glad you came up?
Yeah, perfect, right.
Thank you, Hattie. New this morning, Nintendo says its profits are up 41% from a year ago. It made $3.3 billion in operating profits for the fiscal year, which ended in March. The company's products have been in especially high demand because of the pandemic, and the Nintendo Switch has sold out on several websites. Nintendo is the current market leader, selling more consoles than Microsoft or Sony.
Well, here's a contrast you may be interested in. As part of the All-In Challenge you may have heard about, Justin Timberlake and Bill Murray are giving you the chance to play around with them at Pebble Beach Golf Links in Monterey, California. You can enter the sweepstakes for $10. 100% of the money raised is going to go to Feeding America, Meals on Wheels, World Central Kitchen, and No Kid Hungry. The contest ends later today, so get in quick.
All right, the Packers 2020 season schedule, it is out this morning, and we're getting a better idea of the challenges they might face this season.
First half is brutal.
Take a breath,
really
guys.
They're going to start the franchise, they're going to start the season, rather, with a franchise first. They are going to open up in Minnesota. That's the first time that the Packers have ever opened up the season in Minnesota. That's going to mark the third straight year, too, of facing a divisional opponent in Week 1. Then it's back home to Lambeau to host the Lions. After that, they've got 2 more games against the Saints in New Orleans, and then the Falcons at home before an early bye week in Week 5.
They're going to need that bye. They're going to need some rest because Week 6 starts a tough stretch of 3 games against playoff teams in a 12-day span. That includes the Pack's only back-to-back road games of the season against Tom Brady in Tampa Bay, J.J. Watt in Houston. Here's a little good news, hopefully a little good luck as well. 4 of their last 6 games are at Lambeau Field.
You have 4 days off before you have to go to San Francisco to play the 49ers.
I knew you were worried about that.
That's tough. We knew that that game was going to be on the road, but man, that timing is not ideal.
You're still optimistic, though.
I know. Maybe 10-6. I don't know.
10-6. You heard it here. Hot take.
I don't know.
We will find out. All right, 20 minutes past 6 o'clock. If you're not hungry for breakfast yet, you're going to be after you see the winner for today's Safe at Home Challenge. I'm just telling you, that's coming up.
And coming up in the next half hour, we're learning more about a set of leaked guidelines from the CDC that the president said would never see the light of day.
Stay with us. News 3 Now This Morning continues after the break.
With a nursing degree, helping others went from a job to a career.
Needed Relief Day Spa and Wellness is a place to relax, be pampered, and revitalize your life. While we're temporarily closed, you can still purchase Needed Relief instant gift cards online. The perfect Mother's Day gift that she or anyone will cherish when we reopen.
It's exactly what I needed.
Garden mats eliminate 90% of the time spent working in the garden and increase a garden's productivity by 10 to 20%. Garden mats let air and water through, but block sunlight. The pre-measured holes make planting a breeze. We help people grow 100% organic vegetables, weed-free. Garden mats give us our summers back to do the things we love. Go to gardenmats.com.
During these challenging times, many Habitat homeowners are hard at work on the front lines. Others have lost their jobs. Please consider making a donation to ease their financial burden and help us bring stability to families in our community.
Monona Plumbing and Fire Protection remains open to serve our customers and communities during these times of uncertainty. During Safer at Home, we've got you covered for all your plumbing service needs. Call us for help. We are here for you.
In this challenging time, Wisconsin's dairy farmers remain committed to your well-being.
We're still in the barns every day, producing real, nutritious milk for your table, and products like cheese, yogurt, butter, ice cream, and more.
We're all in this together, and our passion for feeding Wisconsin's communities is stronger than ever.
Your business is your pride and joy. You raised it with hard work, from nothing but a dream. And since you care so much, naturally you want to protect it from harm. That's where we come in. Because a great insurance policy is not a necessary evil. It's the best way to keep your business happy, healthy, and profitable. And that is the silver lining. Pamper your business with a policy from West Bend.
When you can't dine in, then get it to go and support our restaurants during Madison Magazine's Restaurant Week to Go. 2 weeks of fabulous to-go menus you'll love. Visit madisonmagazine.com for details and menus. Restaurant Week to Go, presented by Kesnick's. Food service design, equipment, and supplies.
I guess there is still cleanup to do.
6:24 on a Friday morning, and it's time to take a look at some of our entries for yesterday's Safe at Home Challenge.
We asked you to show us what you're having for breakfast, and you folks answered the call. Here are a couple of our favorites.
That's right. This is our runner-up. Get ready for a food coma with this plate full of bacon, egg and cheese sandwiches, all on French toast.
A lot of bacon there. We're loving it, though. Another runner-up this morning, they've got a fresh homemade warm muffin, homemade Greek yogurt, which I didn't even know you could do, and fruit. And, of course, we also need, at this hour, a big cup of coffee.
That one right there is my favorite, but here is the winner. Check it out. It's a big old grill with pancakes and sunny side up eggs, and of course, you gotta have that side of a big plate of bacon, right? That's how my oldest daughter loves her eggs, like that, the sunny side up.
So do I.
Same.
Actually.
That's her fave. So you guys dip your toast in it? You gotta
oh yeah.
dip the toast in the yolk?
Oh yeah, little rye bread. I like it nice and thick, delicious.
You got to clean the whole plate, right?
Oh yeah, good stuff. All right, and the winner, hey, you're gonna get a gift card to a local business. It's on the way. Thanks for sending in all the pictures, folks.
All right, and for our weekend challenge, we want to see how you're celebrating Mother's Day in a safe way, of course.
Whether it is sending cards and flowers or a Zoom or FaceTime call on Sunday, be sure to head over to our website, channel3000.com/safeathome to send in your pictures. I'm sure there's going to be some really creative things going on this weekend.
Oh, yeah, and they're all going to be inside, Hattie, because it's a cold weekend ahead, isn't it?
It certainly is. We're starting the weekend off today. If you're starting a little early on the chilly side, here's our Pet Walk forecast. This is Mika in Sauk City, a very comfy spot there picked out. It's a good nap day today. We have sunshine, but highs will only be in the mid-40s this afternoon, and that's before you factor in that northwesterly wind. An alert day is in the forecast for tonight into Saturday morning. We're talking freezing conditions. A freeze warning will go into effect at midnight tonight through Saturday morning for the entire area. We do have a chance for some snow in the forecast as well. Hard to believe it, but yeah, there could be some snowflakes north of Madison early Sunday morning.
Ugh.
I don't like talking about snow this late in the year.
Do you remember what it looks like?
Wild and weird.
Little Oklahoma City transplant.
It's been a while. It's been a while since but back in the day, both uphill both ways in the snow. Hey, we'll be back, folks, after a quick break. Keep it here.
3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today. Junk Garden Centers are open to help you start the growing season. For a limited time, get a free bag of raised bed mix with the purchase of 2. Shop now at all 5 Junk Garden Center locations. Get your growing season off to a safe and healthy start with Junk Garden Center.
Oh my gosh. Wow. Who am I? Wow, is that really me?
Hi, I'm Annette, and I'm an actress. Under eye bags and wrinkles are so frustrating. They're so hard to hide and so hard to get rid of. I came across Plexiderm, and I was so excited. We have a model. His name is Richie, and all he's doing is taking a small amount. It's so powerful. That's all it takes. And what I love about Plexiderm is this is something that you can do in the convenience of your own home. It literally creates an invisible layer that tightens the skin and smooths it out. All you do is gently rub it underneath your eyes, on your fine lines and wrinkles, and it visibly disappears in as little as 10 minutes.
My real true opinion is holy words I can't say on camera. This is absolutely unbelievable. I mean, I could feel it just lifting my skin. It was amazing. It feels good. Feels great. Looks even better.
I can't even believe that this worked. I was a little skeptical, I am not going to lie, because I saw people online with it, and I'm like, yeah, right, that can't possibly work. I'm telling you, it really works.
I thought I might see a little difference, but to see that big of a difference, and I felt something happening, but I had no idea. Like, I have so many dark circles, I have the puffiness, I have the lines. Like, it's amazing. I love it.
I did this to my father at home because I was skeptical. Yes, I admit it. 4 minutes, 34 seconds. The appearance of his under eye bag was completely gone. We were screaming. You have an event, you have any of those moments where you want to feel the best about yourself. I'm telling you, the videos that you see on social media and TV are real.
Take action with the Plexiderm 10-minute challenge. This Mother's Day, get up to 50% off the normal retail price. Plus, get free shipping. Visit Plexiderm.com or call the number on your screen.
It takes attention to detail.
With your local Bryant dealer, you're getting more than just a technician. You're getting someone who pays attention to your needs and the little things that make a big difference. It takes a dealer you can rely on. And to keep your family cool this summer,
let me show you how this works.
It takes Bryant.
Bryant, whatever it takes.
Call us at OK Heating and Air Conditioning.
Call AirServe Heating and Air Conditioning, serving the Madison area.
Junk Garden Centers are open to help you start the growing season. For a limited time, get a free bag of raised bed mix with the purchase of 2. Shop now at all 5 Junk Garden Center locations. Get your growing season off to a safe and healthy start with Junk Garden Center.
New numbers just into the newsroom this morning on how often local police officers use force.
And we have a freeze warning in the forecast for tonight. All the details in just a few minutes.
This is News 3 Now this morning.
Good morning, everyone. We made it to Friday. It is May 8th. I'm Chris Stanford with Leah Linscheid and Josh Spreiter. And we start this morning with some more promising news. For the 4th straight day, the percentage of positive cases of COVID-19 in Wisconsin is dropping. This is the latest data from the DHS here. It shows a 5.7% percentage of tests taken came back positive yesterday. That's down from 9% yesterday. Now you can see this orange line that we've been tracking here. It is on a downward slope. That's what we need. It does need to continue, though, over the next 10 days in order to meet the governor's main Badger bounce back criteria. We've been at a total now of 9,300 confirmed cases of COVID in the state.
New this morning, the Trump administration is shelving a document from the CDC with advice on reopening. The 17-page document has step-by-step advice for states on when and how to reopen public places during the pandemic. It was leaked to the Associated Press. The Trump administration reportedly told agency scientists the guidance would, quote, never see the light of day. Trump's coronavirus task force responded to the report, saying no one has stopped the guidelines. They're just still in editing to make them simpler.
The city of Janesville is already talking about another mask giveaway event after a really big turnout at yesterday's. City leaders say they handed out 319 masks in 30 minutes. The masks were all handmade, too, by a volunteer group called So Connected. Leaders in Janesville say they are hoping to get masks in as many hands as possible.
Wearing a mask in public is important. It's really for other people. The masks have their limitations, of course, but they help slow the spread.
The So Connected group does need some help sewing more masks for a future giveaway. You can find out how to get involved by going to our website, channel3000.com.
All police officers in the city of Milwaukee are now required to wear personal protective equipment when interacting with folks in public. Thanks to donations and purchases, the department now has more masks to give out to their officers. 36 of those officers have tested positive for the virus. Many of them have already made a full recovery.
A new accountability report looking at the Madison Police Department finds men and black people are more likely to be subjected to use of force.
The department says they used force in just under 1/4% of calls for service and about 3.5% of arrests in 2019. Overall, use of force is up from 2018, but police say it's because of a change in the way the department keeps track. Now, anyone taken to the ground is considered a use of force case.
That's the most common force used, making up 246 of the 448 uses of force in citizen contacts this year. Kicks and punches were the second most common, accounting for 74 of the total uses of force. Tasers were used 40 times, and one suspect was shot. That person was Dean Thomas, a 64-year-old, killed by police in October after ignoring orders to drop his weapon. Police say he pointed his gun toward officers before he was shot. The department says the officers involved followed appropriate use of force procedures. Those officers were not charged by the district attorney's office.
Developing right now, the father and son accused of shooting an unarmed black man as he was out for a jog are facing murder and aggravated assault charges. 64-year-old Gregory McMichael and his 35-year-old son Travis are in jail this morning. They told police they thought 25-year-old Ahmaud Arbery was a burglary suspect. The shooting happened 2 months ago in Georgia, but is causing national outcry this morning after a video reportedly showing the murder was posted online. Gregory is a former officer who worked for the local district attorney's office that originally investigated the case. And there's a new development on a story I've been following since yesterday morning. Folks are still being evacuated after a gas leak killed 12 people and left 1,000 sick in India. Those evacuations are precautionary, but locals panicked overnight thinking there was another gas leak. It happened at the LG battery plant. The tanks that leaked had been unattended for 6 weeks during the country's strict coronavirus lockdown, which was lifted on Monday.
A new study shows kids are starting to feel the effects of the coronavirus pandemic, and it's affecting their mental health. The research, published in the Journal of the American Medical Association Network, it focuses on kids in 2nd through 6th grade in China, where the outbreak started. 1 in 5 of those kids reported symptoms of depression after their schools were closed for a month. The results are similar for anxiety, suggesting that infectious diseases could influence our children's mental health. The findings are similar for adults. Just last month, more than 1 in 4 American adults met the criteria for serious mental distress and illness. That's a roughly 700% increase from 2018. Now take a look at this data from San Diego State and Florida State Universities. Young adults and folks with kids are seeing the most significant spikes. 4% of people between the ages of 18 and 59 reported serious mental distress back in 2018, compared to 38 to 39% who are feeling it right now. Parents, this is how it looks for you. 37% of folks with kids 18 years and older are feeling seriously distressed. Only 3% of you were feeling that way back in 2018. Compare that to people with adult children or no kids at all. 22% of those folks report feeling similarly distressed.
6:35 right now. Hattie's been giving us the warning all week about the cold coming, and it's here. You're going to want to cover those plants tonight.
Certainly, yes. And maybe, hopefully you covered them last night as well. We have alert days in the forecast for tonight into tomorrow morning. Widespread frost is expected across the area, and a hard freeze is possible as well. The National Weather Service has issued a freeze warning for all of southern Wisconsin. Now, this starts at midnight tonight and goes through Saturday morning for the entire area. Temperatures this morning are pretty close to the freezing point in the Dells, 32. Camp Douglas here at 28. There are ongoing freeze warnings for parts of central Wisconsin this morning. Even here in Madison, it's pretty chilly at the airport. Dropped to 31 degrees now. Monroe's at 34 and Janesville is at 36. Here's a wider view of what's happening across the region. We did have a storm system tracking to our south. All the rain well south of southern Wisconsin. Skies are clear this morning, so we get the benefit of sunshine in our forecast today. Unfortunately, that sunshine has to battle a northwesterly wind. Winds are from the north. They will start to increase through the day today, and that will really hold temperatures down. By lunchtime, we're talking only 40s, and even some spots still in the 30s. We'll warm a little bit from there, but not much. Our high today is 45 in Madison, 46 in Janesville, and 45 in Watertown. Now, once the sun sets, temperatures are going to drop pretty quickly. Here we stop the map at 10 o'clock, already down into the 30s, and we will bottom out below freezing. By 2 o'clock, many places at or below freezing, so several hours overnight tonight where those temperatures will be critical. You want to protect any sensitive plants. Not expected to get above the freezing point until 7 or 8 o'clock tomorrow morning. Temperatures will be a little better tomorrow, 56 for the high with partly sunny skies. Again, Mother's Day, though, looking rather chilly, 48. Some rain showers possible, and then even some frost likely Sunday night, Monday night, and possibly even Tuesday night, with those temperatures still in the lower 30s. I did look ahead to some of those real long-range models, and they are forecasting a nice warm-up for next weekend and beyond.
Sounds good to me. Thanks, Hattie. This year's graduating class at UW-Madison has lived through a lot, and now they face an uncertain future as they get ready to graduate with a virtual ceremony this weekend.
Christina Laurie joins us to explain what the University of Wisconsin is doing to help. Hi, Christina.
Hi, Chris and Leah. This year's college graduates are entering the worst jobs market in more than a decade, with lower starting salaries and higher numbers of applicants, according to the National Association of Colleges and Employers. That's why it's as good a time as ever to know someone and leverage a network of 450,000 Badger alumni. The Badger Bridge program can help graduating seniors connect with alumni from all around the world. New graduates, as well as any alums, can search for Badger Connections by city to find jobs, support, and advice. The Wisconsin Alumni Association is also helping make it easier for new graduates to connect with a special 2-year membership offer, which gives them access to virtual and in-person programs and networking events, both social and professional. New grads should also be on the lookout for a special mailing called a grad guide, which will explain ways to stay engaged with the university post-graduation. On a more fun note, the Alumni Association has created Badger-themed backgrounds that grads can use in virtual meetings to celebrate commencement with their friends and family. So if you're planning to Skype or Zoom with them, the space behind you can be occupied with some Badger-themed essentials. But I brought my own Badger gear today. I pointed out I have a little Bucky on my shirt, so congratulations to the class of 2020.
Proud of you, Christina. We're all wearing red today, standing in solidarity with our UW folks. Christina, thank you. No UW graduation is complete without jump around. Christina was just saying that, even while social distancing. New this half hour, Badgers near and far are invited to jump around after watching UW's virtual commencement video to celebrate the class of 2020. You can tune in to dozens of area radio stations at 3 o'clock to join or stream the House of Pain hit on YouTube. Be sure to take a picture or a video, and then when you share it on social media, use the hashtag UWGrad. Your post could be featured on the UW Grad celebration wall.
High school graduation's not that far out either. The village of Waunakee, though, is going to have some legal hurdles to clear before they're able to celebrate their graduating seniors. The city wants to hang banners on light posts along Main Street with senior photos. But since Main Street's a state highway, there are some rules against hanging signs there unless there are unique circumstances. The village attorney is coming up, though, with a resolution that he does plan to get approved. Once that happens, the board is expected to approve the banners.
6:40 on a Friday morning, and happy Friday. We made it to the end of the week, still dealing with just one traffic incident, and that's in Sun Prairie this morning. There is a stalled vehicle in the southbound lanes of 151 just after Main Street there, so you want to keep that in mind. One lane is closed. If you are hopping on the Beltline this morning, looks like no problems out there. Everything moving at posted speeds. Let's take a live look outside this morning. Beautiful start there. The sun looks good, but unfortunately, it's going to be one of those days where it's not going to feel too warm out there. Hattie's going to have more about that and a freeze warning in her forecast.
Plus, we're going to introduce you to a new kind of superhero featured in a video game your kids are going to love. That's when we come back on News 3 Now this morning.
The world may be shut down, but Mother Nature won't wait. Normal wear and tear on your home won't wait either. So if you need a home improvement, we're here to help. With exclusive offers to save you money on roofing, siding, windows, gutters, and design services, all with zero down, 0% interest, and no monthly payments for 6 months. Plus free virtual consultations from the comfort and safety of your own home. Visit fryconstruction.com for exclusive money-saving offers and contact us today.
Take advantage of a special offer on the versatile Kubota BX Series subcompact tractor. Switching attachments is simple, and a smooth hydrostatic transmission makes for easy operation. The Kubota BX Series, the #1 selling subcompact tractor in the U.S. for over 10 years. You own the land. Now, make it yours. Get the Kubota BX 2380 for payments as low as $99 a month.
Americans have been cutting the lawn for hundreds of years, but with TurfBot, the future of mowing is now. Our quiet, all-electric robotic mowers work around the clock to keep your lawn trimmed 24/7. That means less time spent mowing and more time spent enjoying. Equipped with LED headlights, auto-stop sensors, and anti-theft GPS devices, our mowers run safely with no supervision. Come home to a freshly mowed lawn every day for as little as $30 a week. Call today and get free installation when you sign up. TurfBot, on the cutting edge.
Carrier asks, what does comfort mean to you? A cool breeze on a scorching day, a cozy corner on a cold night, or knowing every room of the house is as inviting as the next. Comfort means more than just the temperature, and the people who invented modern air conditioning keep inventing new ways to make you comfortable, like cool cash rebates of up to $1,650. Carrier, turn to the experts.
Call Footville Heating and Cooling, serving the Janesville area. In the Sauk County area, call Prairie Plumbing and Heating.
Duracell Optimum will be right where you need them today, tomorrow, the day after that, and the day after that, day after day. Packaging designed to make storage easier. Duracell Optimum.
At Papa Murphy's, Murphy's, we know family time is more important than ever. So we're helping by offering online ordering everywhere and delivery and curbside pickup where we can, so you can keep family time as normal as possible. Papa Murphy's, we're in this together.
On the next Live Before, Lola and Louie, our news hounds, have the best animal stories of the week.
And the Wisconsin Historical Society offers digital access to Wisconsin, our state, our story.
At News 3 Now and Channel 3000, we're committed to providing you with information that is accurate and up to date.
We'll bring you breaking news alerts and everything you need to know to keep you and your family safe.
News 3 Now, your local coronavirus headquarters.
All right, folks, Mother's Day, of course, on Sunday. So we found some online shops that are selling some pretty interesting T-shirts for Mom.
I've been getting flooded with targeted ads on my social media pages for shirts. They take a lot, look a lot like this one. Here's one. It says Momosaurus Rex.
Okay, that's clever.
I love that.
So that one's cute. They're wanting me to buy the shirts, you know, so it's like a present from my kids. They know we have little kids, right? And then check out this next one here. It says, good moms say bad words.
Okay, these are clever.
They're not good. Yeah, not bad. And this next one takes it a step further. Every great mom says the F word.
Ooh.
Yeah, I don't know about that one.
I think that means fudge.
Frost or fudge, maybe, Hattie?
Frost.
Yeah.
Hard frost is what that means.
Yeah, maybe Josh will like this last one here. Mother's Day 2020, the one where I was quarantined.
Oh, I love that.
On Friends there. So I thought these were great. They're fun to share.
That's a historic one right there.
Yeah, Hattie, do you have any memorable Mother's Day gifts that you've gotten from your kids over the years?
Of course. I don't have any T-shirts like that, but they usually make breakfast in bed for me, and then we go pick out flowers on Mother's Day. But that may look a little different this year, I think. I'm not sure if we'll be going to the greenhouse or not. Especially with temperatures like this, you may want to take care of any plants that you've already planted outside. Anything that's sensitive, and maybe even some plants that are a little hardier might have trouble with the forecast coming up with those overnight lows. A live look from the Edgewater Sky Camera shows you just a few clouds moving into the area, but a nice start to the day. We're at 31 here in Madison, 32 in the Dells. Janesville's actually up a degree to 37. Our winds will be a factor, though. We're talking a north-northwesterly wind today, around 15 to 20 miles an hour, so not a very pleasant wind at all. That'll actually create a little bit of a wind chill for you this afternoon. Winds will start to diminish tonight, but that will lead to very chilly conditions. Temperatures will top in the mid-40s today, but then we're down below freezing for several hours tonight. That freeze warning starts officially at midnight, but just go ahead and cover up those plants before you go to bed tonight and protect them, because temperatures look like they're bottoming out right around 29 here in Madison. 26 though for that overnight low in the Dells, as well as Camp Douglas. Even Janesville, Monroe, you're dropping to 30 degrees. Coming up in a few minutes, we'll talk more about that weekend forecast. There are chances for some rain and even a few snowflakes in some spots as well.
All right, Addie, thank you. Hey, Joe Biden is narrowing down his list for vice president, and we know at least one person who's on that list. We'll tell you who it is in the morning sprint.
And here at News 3 Now, we want to thank all of the people in our community making a difference. Today, we're thanking Constance Lindsay and Tyler Kurt. Constance is a CNA, and Tyler is a farmer and volunteer firefighter and marshal. Thank you both for doing everything you're doing to keep our community safe.
And it is Friday, May 8th. Before we go to break, we want to say happy birthday to Finn, Lennox, and all the kiddos turning 3 today. Thanks for celebrating with us here on News 3 Now this morning. We'll be right back.
This portion of News 3 Now is sponsored by Sloan Implement.
It's time to freshen up around your yard. This year, don't struggle with bulky bags of mulch. Call JR.
JR's mulch sales, spread it around.
I wanted more from my COPD medicine. That's why I've got the power of 1, 2, 3 medicines with Trelegy. The only FDA-approved once daily 3-in-1 COPD treatment.
Trelegy, the power of 1, 2, 3. Trelegy, 1, 2, 3. Trelegy.
With Trelegy and the power of 1, 2, 3. I'm breathing better. Trelegy works 3 ways to open airways, keep them open, and reduce inflammation for 24 hours of better breathing.
Trelegy won't replace a rescue inhaler for sudden breathing problems. Trelegy is not for asthma. Tell your doctor if you have a heart condition or high blood pressure before taking it. Do not take Trelegy more than prescribed. Trelegy may increase your risk of thrush, pneumonia, and osteoporosis. Call your doctor if worsened breathing, chest pain, mouth or tongue swelling, problems urinating, vision changes, or eye pain occur.
Think your COPD medicine is doing enough? Maybe you should think again. Ask your doctor about once daily Trelegy and the power of 1, 2, 3.
Trelegy, 1, 2, 3.
Save at Trelegy.com.
Through all the world events since 1936, Culligan Water has continued to provide better, safer water with our filtration systems for homes and businesses. These days, as a designated essential business, Culligan's water professionals are standing by ready to help.
Needed Relief Day Spa and Wellness is a place to relax, be pampered, and revitalize your life. While we're temporarily closed, you can still purchase Needed Relief instant gift cards online. The perfect Mother's Day gift that she or anyone will cherish when we reopen.
It's exactly what I needed.
Wisconsin is one of those certain places with certain people who do a certain thing better than anyone else, anywhere. In Wisconsin, we dream in cheese. Look for our badge. It's on everything we make.
We're back.
We got our to-go food.
Oh, good. What a treat after a long week and no cleanup.
When you can't dine in, then get it to go and support our restaurants during Madison Magazine's Restaurant Week to Go. 2 weeks of fabulous to-go menus you'll love. Visit MadisonMagazine.com for details and menus. Restaurant Week to Go, presented by Kesnick's. Food service design, equipment, and supplies.
I guess there is still cleanup to do.
Go to Amazon.com skills to enable Channel 3000 news briefs. News 3 Now, your local headquarters for coronavirus facts and updates.
It is 6:50, time for the morning sprint.
We start with some promising numbers this morning. For the 4th straight day, the percentage of positive cases of COVID-19 in Wisconsin is dropping. 5.7% of tests taken came back positive yesterday. That's down from 9% on Wednesday. You can see the orange line here. We've been talking about it all week, and it's starting to slope down. That trend, though, needs to continue over the next 10 days in order to meet the governor's main Badger bounce-back criteria.
The city of Janesville has plans already to hold another mask giveaway event after a big turnout at one yesterday. City leaders say they handed out 319 masks in just 30 minutes. The masks were all handmade, too, by a volunteer group called So Connected. Leaders in Janesville say they're hoping to get masks in as many hands as possible. And they need some help, too, sewing these masks. So if you'd like to pitch in, go to our website, channel3000.com.
A new accountability report looking at the Madison Police Department finds men and black people are more likely to be subjected to use of force. The department says they used force in just under 0.25% of calls for service and about 3.5% of arrests in 2019. Overall, use of force is up from 2018, but police say that's because of a change in the way it's tracked.
Breaking news in just the last few minutes. President Trump is responding to the Department of Justice dropping its case against Michael Flynn. On Twitter, the president says, quote, "Yesterday was a big day for justice in the USA." Flynn served as the president's first national security advisor and pleaded guilty to lying to the FBI and the vice president about discussions in Russia. The DOJ determined the FBI's interview with Flynn was unjustified and decided to drop the case yesterday. Also developing right now, the father and son accused of shooting an unarmed black man as he was out for a jog are now facing murder and aggravated assault charges. 64-year-old Gregory McMichael and his 35-year-old son Travis are in jail. They told police they thought 25-year-old Ahmaud Arbery was a burglary suspect. The shooting happened 2 months ago in Georgia, but is causing national outcry after a video reportedly showing the murder was posted online.
We're following new data this morning out of the Journal of the American Medical Association Network. It shows 1 in 5 Chinese children reported symptoms of depression after their schools were closed for a month. The study focused on kids in 2nd through 6th grade. The results are similar for anxiety, too, suggesting that infectious disease could influence our children's mental health.
The findings are similar for adults. Just last month, more than 1 in 4 adults met the criteria for serious mental distress and illness. That's a roughly 700% increase from 2018. Take a look at this data from San Diego State and Florida State Universities. 4% of people between the ages of 18 and 59 reported serious mental distress in 2018. That's compared to just under 40% feeling it right now.
It certainly won't feel or look like graduation weekend around Madison, but the class of 2020's big day is tomorrow. This year's ceremony will be held virtually. You can find out more about what that will look like on channel3000.com, but this year's graduates are entering a dismal jobs market, the worst in a decade. The Wisconsin Alumni Association is now helping connect the class of 2020 with its 450,000 living alumni through the Badger Bridge program and WAA chapters in all 50 states. All grads can take advantage of a special 2-year membership offer to join the Alumni Association network. For new grads already with jobs, the WAA also organizes in-person and virtual social events in cities nationwide.
Thank you, Christina. Right now, we are just over 30 minutes away from the latest jobs report. It is expected to be the best look we've had at how much the recent economic collapse caused by the coronavirus has impacted the U.S. labor market. An economist with Glassdoor tells CBS News they think it will be the single worst jobs report in history. CBS This Morning will bring us a special report when that comes out at 7:30. We now know at least one of the dozen people on Joe Biden's shortlist for vice president this morning. In an interview with an Orlando TV station, Joe Biden says Representative Val Demings is a very competent and very capable person who he's now considering. Demings told MSNBC she would be honored to be served as his pick. She was one of 7 impeachment managers during President Trump's trial in the Senate.
House Speaker Nancy Pelosi hopes to put a multi-trillion-dollar coronavirus relief package on the House floor next week. Pelosi tells Politico she had hoped to release the draft bill today, but that seems unlikely, with committees expected to work through the weekend on the package. It's expected to approve new spending for states and COVID-19 testing. A vote on it next week is possible, but not certain.
The United States is nearly $200 million behind in payments to the World Health Organization. That debt was growing before President Trump announced that he'd stop funding the organization. NPR reports the U.S. owes $81 million from 2019 and $118 million from this year. The $118 million sum comes out to nearly a quarter of the WHO's annual fees that it gathers from all 194 member states.
6:55 right now, still dealing with that traffic incident up in Sun Prairie, but the rest of Madison Metro looking not too bad. A couple delays near downtown this morning. If you're heading in from the interstate, take you around 4 minutes to John Nolan Drive, and heading into downtown this morning should be smooth sailing. That's your First Warn traffic.
And your First Warn weather forecast does have an alert day in the area for tonight into Saturday morning. We have freeze warnings that will start at midnight tonight through 8 o'clock on Saturday. Temperatures today will be on the cool side. We're talking only a high of 45 degrees. Northerly winds will make it feel even colder. At least we'll have sunshine in the forecast today. Coming up, here's a look at that weekend forecast. We do have sunshine and milder conditions on Saturday, but there's a chance for rain across southern Wisconsin on Sunday, maybe even a few snowflakes to the north.
All right, Hattie, thanks so much. And thanks for joining us this week, folks. Have a great weekend. Give your mom a call and join us Monday morning. See you later.